my beautiful geeks. Today I am doing a book speed run review. So essentially what that means is I have a huge stack of books that I have neglected reviewing, and now I'm going to review them because I've been reading books for the past 2 months like crazy, and so I guess here we go on the stack of books that I have read. So the first one is Something to Talk About. This book is about a very high-end actress and her assistant, and they go to a premiere together, and the press assume that they're girlfriends, and essentially the whole premise of this book is will they, won't they, will they get together, won't they get together, and it's kind of like the ups and downs of trying to figure out who likes who, and if they like each other. And the two main characters are named Emma and Joe. Joe is the Hollywood actress, and Emma is the assistant. And Emma kind of deals with like her feelings and trying to figure out if she actually likes Joe, and Joe is also having that same predicament. I do like that there is women of color in this book, especially with Joe, who is an Asian American woman. I really like that. But this book is kind of boring because it is a will they, won't they. And I just got bored at points, and I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I would like to. Okay, next book is Zoe Rosenthal is Not Lawful Good. This book is about Zoe, who lies to her boyfriend about going to a convention for the show that she loves, and she ends up meeting a lot of people along the way, becoming and creating friendships with them, and it feels definitely like how a con experience is. I feel like this author definitely like got that down pat, what it's like to go to conventions. But this is a really funny book. 10 out of 10 would recommend it to anybody who wants a good book about just first of all conventions, and since you know the virus that's been going around has been a big thing, so if you miss conventions, this is definitely the book for you. But I love Zoe as a character. She's super funny, and like I love how she doesn't tell her boyfriend that she's going to these conventions, and he turns out to be like a horrible person essentially, but it's just a really great book, and it's really, really cute, so I definitely recommend this one if you ever want a good read. Next one is Black Girl Call Home. This is a poetry book about just black women and what they have to face. This one is also figuring out like sexuality and who they are as a person while living in a not so great neighborhood. The poems are beautifully written. I absolutely love them. It's interesting because it's written like a story and whatnot, and then one of my favorites, let me see if I can do it, is the one with the number. I absolutely love that. That was really cool because I called the number, and you get one of the poems read out by the author, so I thought that was really cool. But it's beautiful, and I love learning about people of color's experiences and what they have to go through, because obviously I am white, and so I definitely have privilege, while you know, other people don't, and so I love to learn about what other people have to go through so I have a better understanding, and this book was fantastic. Okay, next book, Shorefall. This is a horrible book. I would never recommend this to anyone. I was so bored. Nothing happens essentially in this book. I only got to I'm trying to figure it out. What was it? I want to say 6, and I was completely done with it. I thought it was going to be an amazing book considering the concept. It's kind of like Arcane, if you've ever seen it, with the world building. Not so much with like the two sisters and whatever, but definitely with the world building. like Piltover and everything, so I thought that was going to be really interesting because I love Arcane. And it just turned out that there's a lot of dialogue that kind of didn't go anywhere, and like stuff doesn't really happen. It takes a long time for stuff to happen. So I got really bored, and it was definitely not worth my time. Okay, next book is Where Hope Comes From. So this one definitely talks about the struggles of being in the pandemic and how that is very taxing on someone's mental health, which I definitely noticed it has taken a tax on my mental health, and I know other people have to deal with that. But it was really eye-opening because I was like, oh, well, I feel that way. And, oh, that explains why, like, I feel the way I do and everything. And I really, really enjoyed the poems in this one, and it has some gorgeous art in it, as well. Let me see if I can find the one that I really, really liked. Like, there's this beautiful one at, like, the sea and the lighthouse. So I really, really enjoyed this one, and it was really, really interesting about, like, how the pandemic can affect someone. Next one is What Kind of Woman? It's boring. It just didn't relate to me, which happens sometimes when I read books. Maybe it'll relate to you, I don't know. But I definitely got kind of bored while reading it, and I didn't really enjoy it as much as I would have liked. The poems were kind of bland. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. I was just bored reading it. The Taking of Jake Livingston. So, the main character, I want to make sure I'm saying his name right. Yes. This is Jake. I was like, I'm pretty sure. So Jake is a medium, which means he can kind of talk and see spirits, which I thought was a really interesting concept, and this boy ends up talking to this one ghost, being followed by this one ghost who ends up being a school shooter, which definitely a topic that was kind of triggering for me, not gonna lie, and what do I say about this book? I really, really wanted to like it, but I didn't, unfortunately, because I like the concept of mediums, and I like learning about, like, how that works and everything, but the reason the school shooter shoots up the school was probably the most anticlimactic reason ever. It pissed me off so much. I was like, that's the stupidest reason for a school shooting. So I think in my mind, I think that, like, the whole school shooting thing wasn't care put into it, I think. And it just, like, I didn't appreciate it, I think. But I mean, I like the main character, Jake. I think he's cool. Really interesting character, but other than that, I just did not enjoy this book. Next one. They both die at the end. I absolutely love this book. I have nothing but praise for this book. I absolutely fell in love with Mateo and Rufus, and I had so much hope that they wouldn't die at the end, but obviously from the title, they do. I just was like, maybe they fooled me. Maybe the author went, haha, joke's on you. But no, not a joke on me. But the ending was super sad. I didn't cry. I know a lot of people cry, but I didn't. I think because I just knew that they both were going to die, so I was like, I'm attached to these characters, but I can't get too attached, so I know they're going to die, so I'm not going to cry. But it was really good, and I only have anything but praise for this book. Definitely worth your time. Definitely worth your time. Beautiful. Okay. So this is Under the Whispering Door. This book was boring. It's essentially the same old thing where a rich man learns the error of his ways. And I swear I wanted to throw this book across the room. I was so freaking bored. I did not get through it all. I only got to chapter 4 and gave up because I was like, this is just one of those books where it's like, yeah, he learns the error of his ways. And now he's not a selfish, rich asshole anymore. And I was like, I'm not here for this. Next book. Down Comes the Night. Tried to like this book, I couldn't get through it. When I don't like a book, I don't go through it all the way because I don't want to waste my time. And so, I gave it a shot, did not like it, was super boring, nothing really happens. You'll notice that, like, a lot of these books that I read, a lot didn't happen. This is, like, the same thing with Shorefall. And I just was not interested in it. The dialogue was... The first chapter captured me, and then after the first chapter, I was completely out of it because it was just not good. Next one. Okay. Last Night at the Telegraph Club. This book is really, really interesting. It takes place in the 50s, and it revolves around a lesbian bar or club, and it focuses on, oh my god, her name is, I'm pretty sure, Lily. Yeah, her name is Lily. She is trying to figure out her sexuality as a young woman in the 50s. She's also Asian American, so you definitely get to learn about, like, back then how like those families were very much like, you cannot be queer, that is something that you cannot be, that is a dishonor, which was really interesting to me, because to me, I'm like, well, you are who you are, and when this book does have language, that are definitely slurs, that are in this book. The author does write about why they chose to do time period language and why they wanted this book to be authentic, which I do appreciate. I just don't think we need that type of language in a book, because I do not want to be reading the N-word. I do not want to be reading the F slur. I really did not care for that part, but it's a really cute story about two girls, and them learning how to deal with their sexuality and how to deal with their feelings towards one another. It's really cute, definitely recommend. It also takes place in the 50s, I think I mentioned that, but I love it. Okay, the last book on this book review is The Necromancer. This is the 4th book in the Nicholas Flamel series. I have read the Alchemist, the Magician, and the Sorceress, the 3 books before this, and I want to get through the series because I really like it. This one was actually kind of boring. They just threw a lot of information at you about different things, all at once, so it was kind of a book about information. I think this is the most weakest one out of the whole series, to be honest. I do like the new characters that they introduce, like, Skash's sister, and a couple other characters. I really, really like that. But I just felt like this book was just giving me so much information about everything that's going on that it didn't really have a plot, which was kind of unfortunate. Like, it does have kind of a plot, but it was just a lot of, like, information being thrown at my face. But at least I know a little bit more about the world. Alright, you guys. That was my speedrun book reviews. I read, oh my god, how many in total? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? 12 books so far this year. Some of them good, some of them not. It happens, it is what it is. But, you know what? I enjoyed the books I enjoyed, and I hated the books I hated. It is what it is. But if you liked any of the books I didn't like, more power to you. I'm glad you could find joy in something that I could not. I always like to say that, just because we all have different opinions, and that's okay. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and thumbs up this video if you liked it. You can follow me on Instagram and on fanfiction at Unapologetically Geeky. It's the same way it's spelled here. And you can also follow me on TikTok, where I do a lot of acting, cosplay, just kind of fun videos in general. at Unapologetic Geek. There, if you just want to check out what I'm doing. I have a lot of fun there. Also, I'm starting up my second channel once again. It's called A Girl Who Acts, where I do monologues and songs and everything. So I get to have like a creative outlet to perform, because I miss doing that. I haven't been able to do that for 2 years now due to the virus. So it's been rough, but whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, my beautiful geeks.